Hey guys, so we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters. We'll go to I didn't even get my phone. Whoopsies. We'll do this. We'll look at the phone. We'll do the phone stuff. Sorry. So it is. I think we're on 2012 by now. I believe we're on 2012. Let me just check. I believe so. Come on. Yeah. Let's see. 2012, 2012, 2012. Let's see. Big events of 2000. We'll see. 2012. No, 12. There you go. What happened? Let's see anything big. Biggest international events. Can you just give me like a with a leap year starting on Sunday? Blah blah blah. What do you remember? Oh, Obama was reelected that year. Remember that? I think you forgot. Happened in 2012. National. Okay. What? What are they? Yes, I know. What? Oh, technically this decade took place in the last week of. Oh, this the debacle took place in the last week of 2011, but the backlash lasted well into 2012. GoDaddy, the popular domain register and web hosting company, showed early support for the Stop Online Privacy Act. SOPA. Okay, I don't really care much about that. Is there like not a read more? Not like a. Oh god, this is stupid. 16 things that happened in this, but where the hell is the heck of the 16? Open gallery. There you go. Maybe this. What was number two? Yeah, it's open kappa, all that crap. A teenage Girl Scouts YouTube video gained traction in January. Okay, don't really care. The NBA introduced Jeremy Lin. Nobody cares. Or at least I don't care. Whitney Houston died. Oh, yes. I remember that. Non profitable, invisible children released. Whatever that means. Wait. A video about Ugandan warlord Joseph Kony. The video went viral. No, I don't really care. Times controversial cover picture of a 63-year-old mother breastfeeding her almost 4-year-old son. Oh, that's okay. The Mitt Romney team releases an official iPhone app with Mitt in May of 2012. With Redditor, when Redditor Max Sidorov saw the YouTube video of a young student bullying his mentor mon- monitor. Okay, but I don't care. Oh, whoa, what was that? Campaign met. Okay, well, an Indiegogo campaign to raise money for clean. The campaign met the 500,000. The 5,000 goal within 5 hours and reached more than 700,000 in total. Wow, that's a lot. Reddit user, well, Delveros Secrets, Delveros Secrets, posted photos of a cryptic. What? A cryptic what? Let me see. Note, which a man on the train in New York had handed him. Without explanation. The tech and business world were surprised to hear that Marissa Mayer, the 20th employee of Google and vice president of search product, was leaving the company. Marissa Mayer. Guy Adams, a Los Angeles correspondent for London newspaper The Independent, was suspended from Twitter in July after tweeting the email address of Gary Zenkel, the president of NBC Olympics. In July, New Yorker writer Jonah Lear reassigned from his position in the magazine after admitting to fabricating quotes in his latest book. Wow. What else is there? John Pike, a University of California Davis police officer, pepper sprayed several peaceful Occupy Wall Street students. Oh yeah, Occupied Wall Street. That was like the 99% thing, wasn't it? Yeah. We are the 99%. That one, right? That was funny because there was an episode of um what was it? South Park that made fun of that by going like, "We are the 3.4398743%," and there's like, "Oh no, oh no, what do we do?" It was great. It was funny. You have to watch it. I don't even know what it's called, but oh god, it was good. Oh, it was such a good episode because it's just funny. Because it's like, wow. When President Obama mentioned in one of the debates that his grandmother died a few days before he was elected in 2008. KitchenAid official U.S. Twitter account tweeted Obama GMA given no even knew it was going to be bad. She died 3 days before he became president. Okay. Google first launched its fiber optic network in Kansas City. There you go. That's all the things. Okay. I mean, there's nothing crazy here, but let's go. Top. Oh, 12. There we go. Top song of 2012 is, if I ain't mistaken, it would be whatever. Billboard Top 100, right? Okay, Billboard 2000 year-end chart number one is apparently. Oh, that came out in 2012. That song sounds like it's something I've heard so many times. So it's apparently this song. It's apparently this song. According to Billboard, it's this song here. Yes, an ad. Of course, an ad. Stupid ad. Come on. Stupid ad. There, this song. That's somebody I used to know by Gota. Is that how you say it? Gota? Gautier? Gautier? Whatever it is. Yeah, I'm not gonna go. I'm just gonna get to it. So yeah, so that song. That was a top song of that year. Yeah, that was a song apparently of 2012. Top song of 2012 or one. I think it was because according to Billboard, it is. So go to top movie 2012. We'll go to the IMDb page. 50 best films of 2000. Well, these are best films, but whatever. So let's go to top 10. So it's The Monster, Lincoln. Ooh, I watched that. It was a good one. It was okay. It was fine. It was good. I mean, it wasn't the greatest movie I've ever watched, but it was pretty dang good. Lincoln, yeah. Um, The Perks of Being a Wildflower. Oh, that's what that one woman. The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey, right? Argo. Um, the Django Unchained, Life of Pi, Skyfall, Armor, and then number one is The Dark Knight Rises. Let's see if there's anything past that, like before that. It's better. Frankenweenie was 2012. The Silver Linings Playbook. Oh, that was 2012. Wow. Les Mis. Oh, Les Mis was 2012. It was okay. It was good. The Holy Motors. Zorro Dark 30 or Zero Dark 30. Sorry. The Avengers. The Impossible. Hunger Games. flight, killing them softly. Beasts of the Southern Wild. What's a weird names for movies? Beasts of the Southern Wild. No, just a movie called No. Wreck It Ralph was 2012. Ooh. Paranorman was 2012. See, Rise of the Guard. Oh my god. Okay, Rise of the Guardians, the best. It's so good. Okay, we're talking about Rise of the Guardians. Rise of the Guardians. Okay, is amazing. Okay, it's fantastic. It's a DreamWorks movie. Okay, and it's basically about Guardians. So like you have Santa Claus, and you have the Easter Bunny, but then you also have stuff like what's it called? The Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Sandman, and Jack Frost. And basically, what happens is there's an evil spirit. I don't know what it was. Remember exactly what it was called, but it was like a black evil spirit. Oh, there was a name for it. But anyway, and basically and he was trying to destroy. Like, what was it trying to do? Trying to just like almost discredit those people, those guardians, right? Almost discredit those people. Like, yeah, you don't exist. You're fake. Whatever the heck that story was. What was the story of that movie? Anyway, oh Brave. God, I didn't like that movie. The Amazing Spider-Man didn't like that movie either. Well, actually, I've never seen the first one. Saw the second one. It was okay. It was half decent. Anyway, when the evil spirit Pitch launches an assault on Earth, the immortal Guardians team up to protect the innocence of children all around the world. Oh, they're trying to just destroy the world? Okay. Thought it was more of like a discredit them. Well, by destroying the world, they had what's it called? What's it called? Oh my gosh. What's it called? They would be destroyed, yeah. They would cease to exist, I believe. Something like that. Ah, such a good movie because it's just great. Because it did everything really well with the whole thing. I don't know, it was just great. You have to watch it. It was a really good movie. I saw it in theaters in 2012 and it was great. No, sorry. I saw it in theaters in 2013. When did that movie come out? When was that release date on this? Release date, release date. It's 2012, but when in 2012? I don't know where the release date was. No trivia. Trivia. I don't care what trivia. Release date. See? November. Okay, there. November 21st, 2012. That's the thing. I saw it then. Yes, I saw it in 2013. That's why. Because it's usually in theaters for like 6 to 12 weeks. So movies are usually in theaters, at least around here. I don't know about where you are, but around here it's usually like 6 to 12 weeks. And so a lot of the times, like when it's that date, it can roll over to 2013. So I believe I saw it in 2013. Yes. And then wait, was let me see, was that in 2000? Let me see, was that 2013 or 2012? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Was that 2012? Let's see. This is 40. Spider-Man. Oh, Expendables 2. I don't know. When did the movie come on? Um, um, Escape from Planet Earth. Release date. This movie come out yet? Damn it. Came out in February of 2013. Damn it. The movie I was thinking of. Damn it. Anyway, there's that one. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It, it, it captured everything. I don't know. It did Winter well. It did Easter well. I don't know. It was a good movie. It was a great movie. My friend loved it. I was like, At the time, I was like, it was good. Now I look back, I'm like, yeah, it was actually really good, like really nice. So not that it was the best thing ever, but it was very very good. I put that movie on my PSP because I got a PSP last year for Christmas last year, and like I finally got a PSP because like I've always wanted a PSP, but the thing with the PSP was it was very I don't know, it was very it was very well, because everybody I knew had a DS. I've talked about this before, but everybody I knew had a DS. So if I got a PSP, I would have been that one weird wackadoodle-doo. It's like, no, no. So I was glad I never got a PSP because it was a choice between like, but that's the thing. It wasn't really a choice because the PSP was never really like in my thought process. I was like, oh no, but it was a choice between the Wii and the PS3, right? And I was like, no, give me a PS. Like I was like one day I was like, get me a PS3, and I was like, no, 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 get me a PS3, like definitely. And then one day I was just like, no, give me a Wii, and they were like, and it was the best decision I've ever made because like, good, absolutely good lord, good gosh, I would have hated it ever. I would have regretted that decision to this day. Like, would have been like, no, 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 no. I would have hated it. But anyway, that's a whole different story, and I've probably talked about that before, so we're gonna move on. But what was it on Saturday? I saw well, cause okay, let me preface this with in Canada, Cineplex is doing was doing well. It's not Cineplex. Well, it was Cineplex. It's hard to explain. The Boys and Girls Club of Canada has a fundraiser. I think maybe twice a year. I know at least once a year, and it's free movies, right? So they had free movies on Saturday. So they were Christmas movies. So there was a choice between like there was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, there was Christmas Story, Elf, Gremlins, and the Polar Express. I think there were five, right? And so um, I saw the Polar Express in theaters in the big screen. Oh, it's so good. Like it was such a good movie. It was just well because it's it's meant to be seen in the big screen. I'm telling you, if you have the opportunity to go see it on the big screen, please go see it on the big screen. It's so good. But yeah, so it's not my well, I I've said it was my favorite Christmas movie, but I'm not sure now because like it's okay. It's kind of overrated, really, to be honest. But I mean, I no, because I look at it and I go, I compare it to all the other Christmas movies, and I go, I guess it's my favorite because all the other ones are just meh. So not that they're bad, they're just meh. So yeah. Uh yeah. So yeah. But hey yeah. So I saw that in theaters. It was so good. It was good with all like the epicness of like everything in the like big screen. It was cool. It was cool. Well, because the other options were like, and then not really a Christmas movie. Then like, because I was not gonna go see National Lampoon or Christmas Story. I'm sorry. And then there was a choice between Elf and Gremlins, and it was like, I would have liked to see Gremlins in theaters, but really, if it's Gremlins and the Polar Express, I would have chosen the Polar Express. You kidding me? So yeah, that was that. But that was that. So um, yes. So let's pull it up. Pull something up here. Okay. Okay, so YouTube Rewind came out, right? And I was no, okay. I saw YouTube Rewind because there were well, okay, there was one, but then there was some weird thing that they did where it was like they did some kind of like record thing. So they got like all the well, for the record was the was what the actual rerun was called, but then the other one where it was like Legends are Born, something like that, and Legends are Born, something like that, and or these are the legends, something like that. Anyway, and so that one was like we're going to go through the decade, and it wasn't even well, was it all or I can't remember if it was all of YouTube or just the decade, like 2010's decade, but um they that one and that one wasn't too horrible. No, because that's the thing. They called it YouTube Rewind, the the legends or whatever they called it. It was like it was called YouTube Rewind, and nobody ever talked about the second thing one that they had because they had both. Anyway, um, yeah, not that it's that one wasn't bad. That one wasn't bad. It's the real one, the one that was for the record that everyone's just like hated. Well, because okay, it started off basically saying, look, last year's Rewind was the most hated or most disliked video in the history of YouTube, right? And then they were like, they basically had this attitude like, well, we'll fix it for you, right? And that they would take a cue from the user because, and then they said something. Then they had this line, okay, that everyone's just like, wow, you little snobby little piece of shit, right? They were like, "Whoa, like a cue from the viewer because you know better than we do." And it's like they're like, "You know better than YouTube." It's like, stop right now, okay? Do you watch your own videos? Some, it's like, God, that was bad. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, it's like, wow. Anyway, um, yes, okay. So, it was like, come on, what are you trying to do? But because all it was the video, so it started with that, and then it goes into like all the top tens, and it was the top 10 with like liked videos, right? So I don't know because they didn't choose. I think viewed because you would have had some like absolutely like bizarre, crazy, like controversial videos, right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like, because that's the thing. They didn't acknowledge any of like the bad. They were just like, bad? What bad? It was great this year. What are you talking about? Like, no, it wasn't. First of all, but hey, what are you gonna do? Anyway, so they, oh god, it was just because everyone thinks that last year's was bad. No, I think this year's was even worse because it was so. It was A, boring, and B, had nothing, and I mean nothing to do with 2018 or 2019. Had nothing representative of 2019 at all. Because I watched the kids react. Oh no, sorry, no, it's the adults react, kids react, teens react, whatever the heck they did, whatever. Generations react, whatever the frig it was, to it, right? And one kid was just like one dude, one guy was just like, but it had nothing to do with 2019. It had nothing. It had nothing to represent. There was nothing that represented 2019 in this video at all. That's the problem. At least 2018's was a was a it was bad, but it was still a representation of 2018. So at least you could be like, okay, it's at least like a decent representation of 2018. It's a bad, like cringy, weird piece of work, but it's at least a representation of 2018. This one had nothing to represent 2019 at all. That's why I think people hate it for those two reasons. For the whole like it's boring as frig and it's not a rewind, and it's has nothing to do with 2019. Like has no representation of 2019 whatsoever at all. So it drove me nuts. I'm like, how does this represent 2019 at all? Oh, little snippets and clippets and bloops and doodads of things that happened this year. So you have PewDiePie's wedding, and you have um KSI versus Logan Paul fight. But those are just a random little clips and like bloobs and doodads. It had nothing. There was no real representation. Like, oh, this represents 2019 and it's great. And here's a little blip. Oh no, it was just like here's a little chat of like, okay, there you go. We showed it. Don't worry. You know, stupid. But anyway, um, yeah. So yeah, I think that's why people hated it. It was because everyone was like, it's a Watch Mojo video without the commentary. It's like, I mean, it was, but it wasn't that okay. It wasn't awful. Because that's the thing. If they had put out three, it would have at least been like, okay, well, you have a real one, and then you have this, then you have whatever the record one was, the Legends one. So at least it's something, right? But no, they just decided, nope, we're gonna do this one. You know, it's like, why? Whatever. I don't care. It was bad. It was bad. Because that's the thing. It's always because that's the thing. Okay, that's the thing that people don't understand or don't take into consideration. The first two rewinds were technically not rewinds. they only like started saying rewind and doing all that in 2012, but they had two before that. So they had 11 and they had 10, and all those were um they were just top tens. Was it top 10 viewed or top 10 liked? I don't know what it was. Top 10 video. I think it was viewed because it was videos of that year, so 2010 and 2011. Because 10 I think just kind of played, and I think 11 was the one that had Rebecca Black hosting it, right? And so I mean, it was okay. I watched them, right? Or and I was like, they're okay. They're not great. They're fine though. They work for what they are. They work. They're just top tens, and we didn't care at the time. Except to watch. That's what the because Watch Mojo, excuse me, Watch Mojo did its like best YouTube rewinds, right? And so it was like, I did it best YouTube rewinds, right? Top 10 YouTube rewinds, right? And so they did that, and then basically made that like they did that. They made that assumption. They came to that conclusion. We're like, look, the first ones were like that. They weren't horrible. People liked them. They were fine, and we were all just like, or at least I was watching when I was watching. I was like, oh yeah. No, it's because they've established a style, right? They've established a style, and we all and now we're just like, you're going back to that? Why? I hope next year they acknowledge this was bad, and they just go and they make it better, or they just go, you know what? No rewind this year, and you know how many people are gonna flip out if that happens. They're just gonna go crazy if that ever happens. They'll be like, "Are you stupid?" You know, that's the thing. Because I was remembering how, because I was remembering back in like, because 16, 17, and 18, okay, all had this weird like flavor to them that were like they weren't bad, but they 16 was good, and then 17 was like ooh, and then 18 was like ugh. But they had this weird flavor to them where it was like just a bunch of like random. There were no scenes of people or big scenes of people. There were no big this, big that. No, just whatever is popular, which was fine, I guess. But 17 tried to pull in like a whole bunch of like things that happened. Oh, the hurricanes and oh, this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, stop. Not that it's a bad thing, but come on. But 16, all 16 was just a whole bunch of like, this is what's popular, which is fine, but this is what's popular, and we're just gonna make like a snippet, clip it, a part of it, like here's a little section of it, and then we'll move on to the next thing that's popular. So they had everything from like the Running Man challenge to pen pineapple apple pen to the water bottle flipping stuff to the 100 layer challenge to everything. It was crazy. It was pretty. It was good. It was still good, but they that was when we knew like okay, it's gone from like just random. Which the other ones had all that too, but they kind of had this better like feel of like this doesn't just feel like random clips of things that were popular. It feels like you actually put some thought into this, and we're like, okay, it's gonna be like other things too, other parts, other this, other that, things, just random clips of people doing whatever. I don't know, something about it where it had a better feel to it. The other ones, like 14, 13, and 14. I see it's a toss up for me between 13 and 14 because I like both of those. But 14 I liked a lot, but 13 was good too. But anyway, um, yeah, and so it's like because even when you go to 15, right, which was also very set like set up, it was set like 16, but with more character or with more like I don't know something about it. It just felt better. It just felt like it did things better. You know, it didn't have that feel of just this is just a bunch of clips we smashed together of things that were popular this year, which feels like it's a cop out, but it's not because it at least shows what was or at least represented 2016. It at least represented 2016 at the minimum. I watched it and went like that whole like well whatever it's okay, like it's not great, it doesn't have that feel, but but it still at least represented what was 2016. So, because they all did that, right, with the songs and they just mashed up songs and they put them in clips and what they always had them. Every one of them had them. 12, 13, 14, 15 had that. But 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 starting at 16, it just felt weird. It just felt like, okay, eh. Like the whole, I don't know, man. It's like, what do you mean you don't know? What do you mean you don't know? I mean, it was not great. But that's the 16th, the last one that everyone went, yeah, it's a good, it's now representative of 2000 and of 2016. 17 was like there were things in it that were like, oh, why? Not that it's bad. I'm not gonna say it's bad because it's not. It's just very weird in that like, whoa, huh? What? Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's YouTube Rewind, and I like YouTube Rewind every year. I always look forward to YouTube Rewind every year. But for some, I even forgot it this year. It's like, oh yeah, YouTube Rewind. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, um, yeah. So 17 and 8, like 16, 17, and 18 all felt like these weird, like, or at least 17 and 18 did, right? Felt like these, like, huh? 16, 17, and 18 had these weird feelings to them that were like, they didn't have this, like, charm or characteristic or, like, character, or, like, this represents, because they still all represented the years to an extent, but for some reason, again, like I said, 15 felt, it had this weird, like, it was almost exactly the same setup as 16. It was very close to 16 in this, like, it just kind of showed things that were popular. I think it was the whole intro to that one, because that one starts off with people jumping into like a ball pit and then on the beach and they're just like kicking, and it has nothing to do with like anything in terms of like how does this represent 2018, or sorry, 2015? How does this represent 2015? And it's like it really doesn't really, right? So we're just like, oh, okay, right? And so that's why, because that's the thing. You always have to have at least one clip of just like, what does this have to do with anything? It doesn't. It just makes a better video. Because I was watching Rumi official, right? Rumi, right? And he made a video with what's his name, Dave from Boy in a Band, and they commented, and his comment was, get a director, get a music video director to do it, and it would have been actually not horrible. Come on, you could have done anything. Like I said, if there was a third video, if that was like the second or third video, sure, fine. But it was like that was what they considered YouTube Rewind. I was like, why? What the heck? Anyway, because they made a real YouTube Rewind and then made that Weird Legends one, nobody would have batted. Nobody would have even thought about it. They were like, okay, yeah, whatever. They probably still would have like not liked this year's just for whatever reason, but I feel like they would have at least been like, it's fine, it's good, it works. It's a YouTube Rewind, because this was not a YouTube Rewind. It wasn't. It was a weird mishmash of like, because the other thing that they made the comment on, I think it was in the React video. It was like, so you didn't like last year's, so we'll just take literally what you liked this year. Hey, you can't complain. This is literally what you liked. It's like, really? No, that's not what we meant. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. So I'm not saying this year's YouTube run was absolute utter trash, but you could have done so much better. So that's the thing. I feel like they might just be like, and there you go. There's your YouTube rewinds forever. Like there's 10 YouTube rewinds or 9. Yeah. So and then that's it. We're never gonna do any more again. So so yeah, like whoa, why they would do that, I don't know, but anyway, I thought about this once. I said, if the whole entirety of something like YouTube, right? I thought of the internet as a whole, but then I was like, I don't think that would ever happen. Like, at least not to the way I'm thinking. But if YouTube just completely conked and just stop, it still exists, but you cannot like make new videos or like nothing can be added. I think it would have a really good run because I thought of that with like because I was watching the Strike Back podcast, right? And they were like talking. I think Ryan was talking about how, yeah, I think he asked or is it Andy that said that? Maybe Andy said. I think Andy said it to Ryan, right? I think he said if the Nintendo Switch just ended right now, I think it'd have a pretty good run. And it's like, yeah, it had a great run. Like, I think like it had an absolutely fantastic run. So if I thought about that, I'm like, 'cause it had great games and great this and great. Oh, it was amazing. And then I thought like, if YouTube just ended right now, and all we could do was watch old videos, I think like I think we it did had a great run. Like, you know, it had a good run. I mean, that's the thing. I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could live off that easily, easily. I just watch old videos easily, because I could go through like years of just watching old videos. It's great. That's at least my how I feel and how I go about this whole thing. Like I'm like, yeah, I could like that's how I'm wired. I'm like, yeah, I could just watch old videos for forever. So I think it'd have a great run. I've had a great run, and we'll just like remember it as like the greatest thing, and be like, oh, remember the good old days, whatever. So, because I just thought of that because I looked up MySpace, and MySpace still exists. It's just nobody ever does anything with it. Because it's like that thing, you know? It's like, because I looked up a lot of these old websites that we used to go to, and it's like, they still exist. It's just nobody uses them. Or most of them still exist, just nobody uses them. It just fiddles to nothing else. They don't, they never really, like, like, get removed. Like, they never really get, like, deleted. They never get, like, they're never gone, really. They're just, like, they just sit in that weird, like, limbo of, like, they exist, but nobody uses them. So, and if they do get deleted, you go to, like, Internet Archive and use your freaking Wayback Machine. Whatever. So, yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. The Wayback, even if YouTube did somehow get conked, something like Internet Archive would, like Internet Archive, not necessarily Internet Archive, but like Internet Archive would just be like, bam, 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 boom. We're gonna archive the entirety of the whole platform, which would be a damn big feat, but it's possible. But that's the thing. Do you just wholeheartedly do the entirety of YouTube? Because there's some absolute abysmal SHIT on that stuff, man. Abysmal crap on that site. Do you just do the big guys? Do you do anybody? Do you do the 1% of 1%, or do you do like anybody over a certain subscriber count, or what do you do? Because then someone like me would be dead, be gone, be dead and gone, which is not horrible. Because I don't think I really contributed to YouTube really, but I mean, yeah, you still lose people like me. So, do you do anybody over a million? Anybody a million and over? Anybody 100,000 and over? Like what? What's your criteria for that? Or do you just do the entirety of YouTube and then you just like let people figure it out themselves? Like, oh well, you want to, whatever. Do you do like useless videos that are just like seconds long, or do you do like the stupid videos that are just like, oh my god, whatever? Do you do the oh god? Do you do the really bad, Do you do the really bad tutorials that are just like I've said this before? I hate tutorials on YouTube. Most tutorials on YouTube suck because they're like, no offense, but they're like kid takes forever to get to point. And then when he gets to the point, it's like recorded off an iPhone 3, recording like a screen, right? Like this, like your screen, right? So it's like, oh, and like Gateway 2000 or like Logitech, those like stick mics, right? I have one of those stick mics where they're around here somewhere, or it was around here somewhere. Anyway, stick mics, and it's really like abysmal audio, so you can't really even hear them super well. But at least not super well. And then you get to like, oh, I thought I had my oh well, or my Logitech. Anyway, and then it's just like, and then their explanation is like horrible, or they miss out the step, or the whole point of the reason why you came there they don't explain. You're like, they explain all the other things. Like for me, like downloading anything or using something when they're like, well, whatever, and they don't tell you what version they're using, first of all, and then they don't tell you how to get like the thing you need. So like, especially with emulation or like, how do I configure like the emulator? And like, oh, and they just like, and they give you like the basic like, oh, go Google this. And play here. You have a game now running, and you're like, no, I don't, because you didn't explain anything. You're a piece of trash. It's always like 12 to 15-year-old kids just like, oh, I can make a tutorial on this. I got it running, right? I downloaded an app, and now I can show you how to download an app. It's like, no, tell me how to use this properly, or at least give me step by step, in depth instructions on how to do things. Like, it's terrible. Because I just watched a tutorial on how to convert analog video to digital, right? So you get a converter, right? A video capture card, right? Or a video capture converter box thing. I have this one, right? For using this for the I'm using this for the camera right now, right? And so for the camera for the video you're using, I'm using this one, Vidbox NW 700, something like that, something to that effect. Any 250, oh, whatever the heck it was. Anyway, and it's not bad. I've talked about this last time. It's just last podcast. It's just that the audio's trash, and you need to have their suite to use software to use audio from it. And I don't have the CD, which has the no. I can get the software, but not the CD. A CD for the product key. I can find the software anywhere, but the product key, no. Anyway, what was I saying? So you get a yeah. So that, and he wanted me to use this one, which is not bad. It's fine. This one, which is a cheap like knockoff of an EasyCam, which is fine. I don't really care. See, right here. See, I like it. It's okay. It's fine. It works. But he's like, buy this, do this, and then that, and it's like, but then what about whoa? What happens if I have this problem or that problem? And then cause he's like, oh, I'll leave you the zipped file if you've lost some for some reason the CD, and it's like, okay, great. I've downloaded it, and it's like, and it downloads. I open it up. It's the product key. I'm like, oh, you stupid piece of trash. I have one thing I can try. And if it doesn't work, then forget it. There's nothing I can do about that. But it's like, oh, come on. I hate that. Both suck. But at least I can use, if I have a microphone plugged in, I can use two cameras now, which is like, oh. I found that out. I was like, what? I can do what? That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Anyway, so that's what I'm probably gonna do. I'm gonna do like shots where it's like down on the table, and then have me here. So yeah, 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 yeah. So oh god, they're bad. That's why all these websites exist. Skillshare and like lynda.com and like there's other ones. Oh, Udemy. They all exist because YouTube's um what's it called are absolute trash. YouTube's what's it called? YouTube tutorials are trash because nobody does tutorials very well. You'll never find a channel that does tutorials like like really well to the point of like, oh, I can actually use this 100% of the time. You know, okay, certain things I can understand. I cannot show you how to do this. I cannot show you how to do that. But when they sometimes leave out the most fundamental, crucial, fundamental parts of a tutorial, I'm just like, why? That's Or they leave out the one reason you came to that tutorial. Like, oh, great, tutorial for X, and they leave out that one reason you came. It's like, but I came there for that, and that's the one thing you left out. You suck. I I I could talk about those tutorials for the rest for hours just because they're so bad. I like how it works and how YouTube is good for like instant, like, oh, I can pull up like a tutorial, like, and that's what's good. But please make at least make logical, usable tutorials, please. These suck monkey butt. They suck monkey butt. But I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? I don't really care. So I'm not saying they're horrible, but that's I feel another topic I could talk about forever. Tutorials on YouTube suck. So I think that'll be it for now, guys. So adios, mi amigos.